There's a particular kind of person who walks through life feeling slightly out of sync with everyone around them. Not dramatically different, not obviously strange, just quietly, persistently misaligned with the rhythm everyone else seems to follow effortlessly. If you've ever felt like you're watching life from behind glass, present but not quite there, this isn't about you being broken. It's about you seeing the world through a lens most people don't have. And that difference, the one you've spent years thinking was your flaw, might actually be your depth. It starts with small moments that most people never notice. You're in a conversation, smiling, nodding, but there's this subtle sense that you're not fully connected to what's happening. Like everyone else is dancing to music you can't quite hear. You watch people move through social situations with ease, jumping into conversations, laughing at the right moments, knowing instinctively how to belong, and you wonder why it doesn't come naturally to you, why you need a moment to read the room before stepping in. Here's what nobody tells you. That distance you feel isn't social awkwardness, it's perception. You're processing layers of interaction that most people don't even register. The subtle tensions, the unspoken dynamics, the emotional undercurrents flowing beneath surface-level chatter. While others are simply being in the moment, you're analyzing it, not by choice, but because your mind is wired to see more, feel more, understand more than what's being said out loud. This doesn't make you awkward. It makes you observant. But observation requires distance. And distance feels like disconnection when everyone else seems so easily, effortlessly present. People who don't fit in often share one trait that nobody talks about. They have unusually high emotional intelligence paired with unusually low tolerance for superficiality. You can read a room within seconds. You notice when someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes. You feel the shift in energy when tension enters a space. You sense when you're not fully welcome, when a conversation is dying, when someone is performing rather than being genuine. This sensitivity is a gift, but it's an exhausting one. Because once you see how much of social interaction is performance, you can't unsee it. The small talk feels hollow. The forced laughter feels painful. The surface-level connections everyone else seems satisfied with feel like emotional starvation to you. You're not searching for attention or popularity. You're searching for resonance, for the rare conversations where you don't have to translate yourself, for the moments where depth is welcomed instead of making people uncomfortable. And when you can't find that resonance, you retreat, not because you hate people, but because shallow connection drains you more than solitude ever could. This feeling of not fitting in rarely starts in adulthood. Its roots reach quietly into childhood, into moments that seemed insignificant but silently shaped how your nervous system learned to exist in the world. Maybe you were the kid who needed time to warm up while others jumped into play immediately. Maybe you observed before participating, making sure you understood the rules before joining in. Maybe you felt things more intensely than your peers and learned early that your emotional depth made others uncomfortable. Perhaps you grew up in an environment that was unpredictable or emotionally inconsistent. So your brain adapted by becoming hypervigilant, always reading the room, always staying slightly alert, always positioning yourself just outside the center where chaos tends to happen. Psychologists call this early social imprinting. Your brain creates templates based on early experiences about how groups work, how much of yourself is safe to show, who you need to be to belong. And when the world's rhythm doesn't match yours, your nervous system learns to exist on the edges, not because there's something wrong with you, but because the edges felt safer than forcing yourself into a center that never quite fit. When you spend years feeling slightly disconnected from external reality, something profound happens. Your internal world doesn't just become important, it becomes home. Inside your mind, everything makes sense. Your thoughts have space to unfold. Your emotions have room to exist without judgment. You don't have to monitor how you're coming across or worry about fitting into the moment correctly. Your imagination becomes richer than most conversations. Your internal dialogue becomes more honest than anything you say out loud. You create your own rhythm, the pace that feels natural, the one that reality never mirrors. In this quiet inner realm, you don't feel out of place. You feel centered, aligned, whole. But this comfort carries a hidden cost. The safer your internal world becomes, the more foreign the external world feels. Everyday interactions start feeling draining because they pull you away from the clarity inside your mind. Here's what makes not fitting in so particularly draining. It's not just that you feel different, it's that you have to pretend you don't. You learn to smile at appropriate times. You learn to laugh when others laugh. You learn to mirror the energy around you, even when it feels completely unnatural. You become fluent in the language of fitting in while your native language remains unspoken. Every interaction becomes a performance, not because you're fake, but because being your authentic self has proven over and over to make others uncomfortable. Your depth is too much. Your silence is awkward. Your questions are too intense. So you adjust. You compress yourself. You speed up your natural rhythm to match everyone else's. You offer surface-level responses when you want to dive deeper. And this constant self-monitoring, this endless translation of yourself into something more palatable, is absolutely exhausting. People see someone functioning normally. They don't see the invisible effort, the constant mental negotiation happening beneath the surface just to exist in a way that doesn't make waves. This is why people who don't fit in often feel tired in ways that sleep doesn't fix. Society has a ready-made story for people who don't fit in. You're shy, you're antisocial, you're not trying hard enough, you need to come out of your shell. These labels miss the point entirely. Not fitting in isn't a weakness. It's often a sign of a mind that operates with more depth, more nuance, more awareness than the environments it's been placed in. You notice patterns others miss. You feel complexities others overlook. Your mind is built for depth, and you've been trying to survive in shallowness. The problem isn't that you're defective. The problem is that most social environments are designed for people who process quickly, speak easily, and connect superficially. But depth requires time. Authenticity requires safety. Real connection requires vulnerability, and those things are rare in a world that moves fast and stays surface level. If you've spent years feeling like you don't fit in, you've probably tried to fix yourself, to become more outgoing, more spontaneous, more normal. But here's what changes everything. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to find your people and your places. Belonging isn't created by fitting in. Belonging is created by being understood, even by just one person, even in just one moment. Your healing doesn't require transformation. It only asks for small, gentle steps, saying one thing you'd normally keep inside, participating in something small instead of overwhelming, letting someone see one more layer of who you actually are. Start looking for the quiet ones, the observers, the deep thinkers, the people standing slightly apart from the crowd. They're your people. Seek environments built for depth, small gatherings instead of large parties, one-on-one conversations instead of group dynamics, spaces where silence is comfortable and thoughtfulness is valued. And most importantly, stop apologizing for your pace. Stop shrinking your depth. Stop translating yourself into something more digestible. The right people won't need translation. The right spaces won't require performance. Here's the final truth. People who don't fit in everywhere often fit in deeply somewhere. You're not meant to be everyone's person. You're not designed to feel comfortable in every space. You're not broken. You're just specific. And specific souls need specific connections. Fewer, deeper, truer. That's not a flaw. That's wisdom. Welcome to understanding yourself. If you enjoyed these types of videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. Bye for now.